So, off screen, I got all the secret ports. Almost completed the Noisepedia except for like the secret boss, which I have no idea where he is. I've got all dives done, 80% done graffiti. Not quite done with pin studs and foods yet, but I'm almost doing that on screen. I got this completely done. But I'm looking forward to reading the secret reports. I'm assuming they're written by Hazuki, or Haz, or whatever his name is. Because, you know, angels. But, I've not even looked at these yet. Okay. 3 years have passed since the game that caught the attention of the higher plane. Observation is still ongoing, but from the UG, it looks like as if Shibuya is on the brink of catastrophe once more. I am forbidden from intervening in the game this time, so I'll have to settle for recording the changing state of both the RG and UG here in this report. Okay, so it is Hanakoma doing this again. The Executor first introduced on Shibuya 3 years ago. Originally from Shinjuku, this angel started a clandestine game with Shibuya's composer, which ultimately led to Shinjuku's destruction. He should have been reprimanded as soon as he arrived in Shibuya, but the elites are turning a blind eye for some reason. Possibly because most higher plane denizens still oppose Shibuya's impurification. This game resembles said impurification in that it is subject to a set of extenuating circumstances somehow keeping it in balance, which are as follows. Difference of opinion and subsequent conflicts on the subject of Shibuya's destruction. The absence of the composer, the game being taken place by two proxies, and direct interference by the Executor. So Joshua wasn't allowed to intervene, was he? Neither Executor, who wishes for Shibuya to be destroyed and purified, nor the composer, who has managed to prevent this up until now, can directly intervene in the ongoings of the UG. If they wish to take actions, then must do so via proxy. The Executor proxy in this game is the composer, Shiba Miyakaze, and the composers is a human player, one Rindo Kanade. I will henceforth refer to as Shiba Miyakaze as the conductor and Rindo Kanade as the proxy. Perhaps spurred by the appearance of the proxy, former Reaper Sho Yamamoto has resumed activity after an extended period of silence. Furthermore, I'm picking up vibes similar to those emitting from Shinjuku just before its purification. They're still faint, but I'll be keeping a close eye on them. So all I got from that is new game, the higher plane still not happy with Shibuya. And once again, Joshua was not allowed to directly intervene, which explains a lot. The proxy in place of an acting composer, the game is affected in numerous ways, the most significant being the implication of a bogus rules by the conductor. One such rule is the division of players into teams, presumably adopted from Shinjuku's rulebook. Under the team system, whichever team earns the most points over the course of the week may choose to either continue playing or not. If they choose not to continue, they may return to the RG if they so desire. However, only the composer can send players back to the RG. The conductor has no right to implement such a rule and no ability to carry it out. As such, it is the conductor's best interest for the winning team to choose to continue playing. To ensure this will happen, he's allied himself with a team clearly intent on continuing with the game indefinitely, the Ruinbringers. Each team's relative value is measured against the others using their scores, and a loss for the team is a loss for each individual within it. It is unclear when these rules were first implemented in Shinjuku, but what is clear is that they seem specifically designed to eliminate players counter to the objective of the game, which is to harbor character growth. So the team thing is completely new, good to know. A new player has joined the proxy's team. The inability of the composer and myself, the producer, to intervene puts Shibuya at a disadvantage, but the new recruit in Minamoto may help turn the tides. The team's team member, one Nagi Usui, is at once open-minded and closed off. Interestingly, this makes her the perfect foil to Tosai Furusawa. A healthy variety of personalities and abilities should benefit their team. The proxy has started using his powers in earnest. I can scarcely believe someone could have such a powerful latent ability. Latent powers are unique, naturally occurring abilities awakened by tuning vibes. These vibes originate from the higher plane and resonate with the soul of an individual, turning them into their dormant powers. Incidentally, these vibes are the same ones required for travel between planes. So I guess all of them can travel between planes, I guess. It is highly unusual for multiple players with latent powers to appear in succession. I suspect the pins found in the RG have been imbued with tuning vibes for the express purposes of seeking out individuals. The more hands the pins make their way into, the greater the chance of finding promising new players. However, the proxy's ability is a significant deviation from standard latent powers. It is far too dangerous. If I could, I would have ensured it remained dormant for the sake of both the Yuji and the Archie. It has the potential to not only warp, but demolish the lower plane's code. I wonder if the composer foresaw this and chose his proxy because of it. With the composer's clairvoyance powers. So what exactly is the purpose of the Reapers game? Let us review. The explicit goal of the game is to locate exceptional individuals, players of superior imagination are elevated to the higher plane, and made into Reapers or Angels to aid in the oversight of their region. The Yuji is located on a higher plane than the Arji. It is understood to be the afterlife, as the soul is modulated and relocated to the Yuji upon the death of the body in the Arji. However, the Proxy and his fellows were brought to the Yuji unmodulated. They've already begun to suspect that something's amiss and respect both themselves and the Ruinbringers. The Reapers should be fighting for their lives, same as the players, but Shibuya's internal Reaper hierarchy is at a total standstill. 3 years ago, Shibuya's acting composer and conductor carried out a game to determine Shibuya's fate. The events that unfolded are now known as Shibuya's Impurification. The hierarchical freeze presumably stems from opposition to the Impurification. I detected a new set of vibes in the Yuji at the end of the day. It seems the pins have awakened new powers within someone and modulated them for entry into the Yuji, just like the Proxy. This time it is someone the composer and I know quite well, so I'm assuming this is Beat they're talking about. A Turf 4 called the Scramble Slam, yeah, that's when Beat first showed up. A Turf 4 called the Scramble Slam has just taken place. The Ruinbringers did not decline to participate. If they had, they surely would have won, leading to a decrease in overall morale. I suspect this little diversion, which pits players against each other in place of noise, exists purely for the entertainment of the conductor. This week marks the 104th game under the current conductor. The Deep River Society, the Very Beauties, and the Pure Hearts have all been subject to at least 30 loops. They are beginning to show signs of fatigue, presumably sensing the impossibility of victory against the Ruinbringers. Perceiving the game as unwinnable has marked a negative effect on players' well-beings. The Proxy's team may be able to avoid coming in last place, but the odds of them toppling the Ruinbringers to claim victory are slim. Although anything can happen in this game, they may yet surprise me yet. Minamoto has become aware of the Proxy's powers and seems to be plotting something. The Proxy's soul is beginning to change. Strangely, its evolution trends towards stagnation rather than development. It is almost as if the range of his vibe is shrinking. I believe this may be due in part to his readiness to adopt the opinions and values of others, mistakenly believing them to be his own. He seems to do this entirely unconsciously. He may never even realize it is happening. Under ordinary circumstances, players in Shibuya's game pay an entry fee upon arrival, through which the composer offers them a chance to re-examine themselves. This game has no entry fee. The Shinjuku rules neither encourage nor allow for personal growth or change, making the game just that, a mere competition to collect points to prove one's worth. The Proxy's stagnant soul makes him the perfect user for his latent ability. For better or for worse, he's able to maintain abnormally high levels of imagination, thereby increasing the accuracy of each replay. The piece fit together almost too perfectly. I can only hope I'm overthinking things. The Deep River Society has been erased according to the rules of the game. The souls of all members, including their leader, are gone. The erasure runs counter to the goal of judging its player's abilities, but it is unsurprising, considering the conductor's intentions. Upon witnessing the erasure, the Proxy's vibes have weakened once again. Its increasingly hardened emotional state may be cause for concern. As suspected, the individual who arrived in the Proxy's moments of need was the source of the vibes I detected a few days ago. It does not appear as if the composer has had a hand in the sudden appearance of our old friend. In sharp contrast to the ever-active executor, the composer is seemingly biding his time. Although I am unable to make contact to confirm, I believe the reappearance of this particular individual works in Shibuya's favor. Minamoto, on the other hand, is all but vanished from the Proxy's side. His noise refinery so drastically hides his imagination, which may be why he can clearly recognize the Proxy's abilities. I have an idea of what he's planning. It's dangerous, but I have no way of stopping him. Incidentally, the noise refinery sigil is a reproduction copied from its original by a certain Reaper, Coco probably. Its completeness, or lack thereof, may be a factor in the subtle change in Minamoto's fundamental vibes. Probably Coco, because she revived him. 4 teams remain: the Ruinbringers, the Pure Hearts, the Very Beauties, and the Wicked Twisters. Only one may survive and emerge victorious. At long last, the game approaches its conclusion. According to Shinjuku rules, incoming players' abilities must exceed the total average imagination of the current players for them to be allowed into the game. As the game continues and low-ranking teams are eliminated, the average rises, making it more and more difficult for newcomers to enter. With the Deep River Society's gone and the Wicked Twister's impressive latent abilities, the average imagination has increased dramatically. Only an immensely powerful player could be pulled in at this point. It can be safely assumed that the game will continue and conclude with no more than the current set of players. The game will continue into the week after next at longest, but the conductor has yet to contact the composer. It is possible he is unaware of the Higher Planes Purification Protocol. If all goes according to the conductor's plan, he himself will be the victor of this game. Our new arrival has joined the proxy team, almost as if filling the hole left by Minamoto. Daisuke Nanchobito, also known as Beat, was a player in the game leading to Shibuya's in Purification. His fortitude is remarkable, as if his soul and imagination. He should prove a powerful ally to the proxy, and yet the proxy's soul remains stagnant, or perhaps it would be more accurate to say it has stagnated further. I felt a similar shift 8 days ago when Minamoto joined the team. If this is the fundamental immaturity of the proxy's soul, it will be difficult to bring to light, unlike Neku's leading up to the Purification. The proxy initiated another replay today. The resulting drastic increase in planar distortion indicates that at this rate, an explosive increase is likely after only a few more uses. However, the proxy's pin is effectively absorbing the distortions, preventing the UG and lower planes from being affected at this time. All of the Reapers stationed in Shibuya, including the conductor, would ordinarily be referred to as Shibuya Reapers, but ongoing conflict has caused those from Shinjuku to be called Shinjuku Reapers. Shinjuku's inversion 3 years ago jump-started its purification, forcing the Reapers to flee to Shibuya. An inversion happens when the boundary between the UG and the RG is destroyed, forcing a purification. It occurs, albeit incredibly rarely, when the composer and conductor fail to agree on the purification. The composer's permission is not required for a Reaper to continue working in a new area. Such transfers are left up to the conductor. In this case, Shibuya's temporary conductor at the time authorized the transfer of all Reapers from Shinjuku to Shibuya. Is that Uzuki? I detect no sign nor vibes of the Shinjuku conductor at present. I assumed he was destroyed along with Shinjuku. Once the purification has begun, it is standard for the conductor to be invited up to the higher plane. There is almost no evidence of a mass personnel transfer at the erasure of a conductor in the past. Upon reviewing the records, I managed to find 4 cases where the affected area had fallen into imbalance before its purification was started. One of these cases is Shibuya's purification. The composer should file a report on the circumstances leading up to Shinjuku's purification at some point, although I doubt he'll do a thorough job of it considering his interest in lower planes. With Shibuya's composer giving his tactic approval to the Shinjuku Reapers, Shibuya's Reapers have no choice but to follow the rules given to them. Regardless of the true circumstances, Shiba Miyakaze has effectively become the conductor through legal means, as he was judged to be fit for the role. So, let's see. Wait a sec, let's do on this. Okay, so Reapers can just switch areas whenever. Shibuya's temporary conductor at the time authorized the transfer of Reapers, so I'm assuming that's Uzuki, because she was Game Master and Shinkarya did greet them. And the Shinjuku composer, we don't really know who that is, because it's not Shiba. Is not really doing anything because he doesn't care. And so Joshua told the Shibuya Reapers to follow the rules. Okay. Restlessness builds among the team leaders, and the proxy's psychological state is far from optimal. I can only hope he will last a week. The team's base group is abnormally low. In a system built around teamwork, such irregularities are certain to have a major effect on the outcome of the game. A network called the RNS is created specifically for this game. The ease with which it measures each individual's vibes and imagination makes it a useful tool for the management of both players and Reapers. However, making this information viewable also makes it accessible from the RG. It can only be sufficiently proficient with networks. No modulation is required to communicate between planes this way, though it is yet unclear if other issues arise as a result. It's possible that communicating through the network could inhibit imagination, just as the full meaning and imagination of a work of art cannot be captured on a screen. I am no longer active as Cat, but if and when I resume, I must keep in mind how my works will be perceived when shared digitally and alter my methods of expression accordingly. Perhaps the developer of the RNS could provide me with some insight in that regard. So Hanakoma Kaie besties, that's what I'm getting from that. There have been a change in the proxy's psychological state as well as an improvement to relations between the members of the team. This is good news. However, the proxy's soul remains stagnant as ever. I have yet to fully analyze the stagnation as I am currently unable to take any action beyond observing and hoping for the best. By Shinjuku rules, Reapers are limited in the actions they may take. Of course, obstructing players is not allowed on a basic level. The primary enemies that players face are other players, namely those on opposing teams. Thus, any team aiming for the top must go through the Ruinbringers. Roxy and his team are taking a different approach against the seemingly unbeatable Ruinbringers. To an extent, it goes against the rules of the game remains to be seen. I doubt the conductor will sit idly by and let them do as they please. If he is forced to make a move, things will either end very well or very poorly. As previously stated, Reapers are not allowed to interfere in the game, and yet, one of them is currently doing just that. It's possible that her Reaper status will be stripped from her, but where will that leave her once the game is over? Good question, Choka. That is for Joshua to decide, and he decided indeed. The leader of the Pure Hearts, when Motoya Anazawa, has gotten himself into a dire predicament. While alive and online, he found himself a loyal follower in the proxy. If Motoya Anazawa is to face erasure, it would likely have a significant effect on the proxy, though to what extent it remains to be seen. Online communication can result in negative or positive outcomes, just the same as face-to-face communication. However, the opacity and anonymity accompanying digital communication leaves its participants more susceptible to misunderstanding. It must have been quite a shock for the proxy to see Motoya Anazawa's true nature, which is invisible to him online. As predicted, Shoko Sakurane has been demoted from Reaper to player as punishment for meddling in the game and directly assisting players. Reapers face very few restrictions on the RNS. They may interact with the RG freely as long as they do not reveal their identities, which should they be demoted, their account is deleted and a separate player account takes its place. With their old account deactivated, Shoko Sakurane is no longer able to interact with the proxy as his online friend, unless she chooses to reveal herself as such. She has aided the proxy via messaging up to now, but with that option no longer available to her, her next course of action is unclear. So of course she knew that she was swallowed, that she was friends. I mean, I'm not too surprised. The conductor has made his intentions known to the players, although it would be impossible for him to carry out his goal of destroying Shibuya merely as the conductor. He believes himself to be the executor as well, sent from the higher plane to purify the city. The Pure Hearts have been erased as expected, only 2 teams remain, discounting the Ruinbringers. With the Ruinbringers' true nature revealed, it is likely that the rules will change next game to reflect that the players tend to oppose the Reapers rather than each other. I have detected unique vibes emanating from a certain inanimate object. I find it odd that the old stuffed animal should show up, but as it turns out, it is temporarily housing a disordered soul. Shinjuku's conductor saved the soul it contains, paying the price with his own erasure. Oh, okay. So Shiba wasn't conductor before, someone. Unless Shiba was the composer of Shinjuku before, but that wouldn't make sense. So I guess he was just an officer then, and Shinjuku's conductor sacrificed himself to save Tsugumi. An angel's power is needed to free the captive soul, but there is still no sign of the composer, now forbidden from meddling in the game. I doubt the executor would be willing to help, considering he most likely trapped it in there to begin with. Our only options are to leave the soul in prison or locate someone else with the means to release it. I suspect the original creator of the stuffed animal, a player who managed to return to the RG 3 years ago, would be able to assist. Unfortunately, she is currently absent from Shibuya. The Reaper skins have changed significantly. Players, as well as Reapers or even the conductor, may erase their opponents after defeating them. At the same time the rules changed, Shiba made an unforeseen move against Shibuya. An inversion is underway. The noise released by the conductor have destabilized the code of the entire Shibuya region. The lower planes, including the UG and RG, are particularly unsteady. The code is a set of laws that binds together the souls that make up all of existence. Think of it as the screws which hold everything together. Some of Shibuya's screws are loose, and others have been removed altogether, leaving nothing to support the city with its own weight. In other words, Shibuya is on the brink of collapse. The deterioration of the boundary between the RG and UG is being hastened by rapidly multiplying noise. If the boundary is lost, the city would be torn apart and purified. There are many in the higher plane who believe normal purification has no meaning, as it maintains the existing planar framework. However, it is generally agreed that inversion should not be utilized due to the complete loss of character that affected area undergoes as its framework is destroyed and rebuilt. And yet, the composer maintains his silence as Shibuya faces the same fate as Shinjuku before it. While Shibuya has undergone dramatic changes, the proxy psychological state is surprisingly stable. This could be interpreted as a positive personal growth as he has come to understand the situation he's been placed in, as well as what actions to take in response. Shoko Sakurane has joined the proxy's team. Her extraordinary powers should make her a fine addition. One of the Shinjuku Reapers has been eliminated. I suspected the conductor saw this coming. Angels emit vibes strong enough to alter the minds of those in the lower planes. Reportedly, many Shinjuku Reapers have sensed a change in Shiba Miyakaze's personality over time. I wonder how he'll feel about all of this after the executive leaves and allows him to return to his former self. The proxy has now used the replay ability 8 times, his pin absorbing the resulting planar distortions and changing appearance with each use. At present, there are no apparent adverse effects. I'm concerned about the physical changes to the proxy's pins. It may indicate some kind of fundamental difference in the other pins. Perhaps replay isn't a latent ability at all. It is far too powerful and would make much more sense as a gift bestowed upon the proxy via the pin. The player pins were almost certainly made by the executor. As an angel, he would be able to prepare special pins at will. It is unclear when and how the proxy acquired his pin. Logically, it must have been on the day he arrived in the UG. All I know for certain is that several factors influencing the proxy's fate were in play that day. In any case, given such a pin knowing he's a composer's proxy would be either incredibly brave or incredibly insolent. So they were talking about how Kubo gave him these powers. I think it was Joshua. Because on the prologue, Fret tosses the pin to Rindo, but he drops it. And someone wearing Joshua's same exact shoes and clothing picks up the pin and returns it to him. And this is very much in character for him to do that. The very beads have been erased. This is a major blow to the proxy's team, as Kanan Tachibana provided them with vital emotional support. Tosei Furusawa's soul is clearly the most heavily effective, despite his fundamental evasiveness and unwillingness to show his true feelings. One's experience leads one to hold a certain belief, and it's difficult to alter that mindset. This often leads to bitterness and anguish. I wonder just how much of this bitterness Tosei Furusawa will be able to bear facing. The answer may very well depend on the proxy and his teammates. Still, this is no time for idle talk. The proxy's team is still the only one left. The conductor is oddly fixated on the team's unstable state. I would go so far as to say he seems more concerned with his enemies than the battle itself. As events unfold, it is not unthinkable that he might join forces with the proxy. Okay, that's kind of wacky, but okay. The conductor's plans laid bare, every Reaper, particularly the Shibuya Reapers, will be forced to choose a side. Some of them who know what I am occasionally try to contact me, but I cannot respond. The Shibuya Reapers will need to grow and adapt if they are to overcome this. Oh wait, some of the Shibuya Reapers know that you're the producer? Dude, they're not supposed to know that. Only you and the composer are supposed to know who you are. My old cafe on Cat Street, the one that served as my base 3 years ago, is always open to them. I hear that some drop by on occasions. Notably, the faint vibes I felt from Shinjuku have returned to their former strength. Someone is coming. Someone who can help decide Shibuya's fate. Can I? Well, I'm just gonna turn the music down. I cannot hear myself. Okay, so we're on 4. Right? Yeah. Neku Sakuraba has returned to Shibuya. As I suspected, the vibes I picked up 17 days ago were his. Ah, it's not beads. Being the last team standing has provided the Wicked Twisters with a sense of unity, but Daisuke no Jopito appears to believe it is sole responsibility to carry the team. I can't see who's wrong in his actions towards Minamoto, but the fact remains that he most likely would have been erased by the X-Reaper had Neku not arrived. The team has narrowly avoided disaster. Let's hope they can carry on that momentum. Minamoto's focus was purely on the planar distortions when he turned half noise and went berserk. He may not be able to clearly measure the distortions from the UG, but that he can sense them at all is an impressive feat. I suspect that he's also becoming aware of the distortions within himself, along with the fact that these distortions should be undetectable from the UG. Minamoto seems to have come to the same conclusions I have. Replay is too powerful an ability to have been wielded by the one from the lower planes. I'm beginning to piece together the executive's plan. One more thing that concerns me is the proxy's soul. Its stagnation has returned in full force just when it seems it might finally fade away. There must be some cause for this, be it the proxy sphere of Minamoto or uncertainty surrounding his own interactions with Neku. So he was very uncertain, I guess, but the comforting, I guess, the big brother mentorship question mark. Neku Sakuraba has joined forces with the proxy. The composer has sent him from Shibuya into Shinjuku during its purification, presumably to have him handle the situation there and keep him isolated and safe from those who would target him for his abilities. As for the proxy, his soul remains stagnant. I have yet to define what exactly is preventing its growth. This would be much simpler if I could just sit down and talk with him. Yeah, it would. After repeated demands, I finally obtained the report on Shinjuku's purification. On the surface, the game involved a conflict between the conductor and the Reapers. In actuality, the composer, eager to purify Shinjuku, planted the executor amongst the Reapers to oppose and take down the conductor. This explains why the conductor was erased and the Reapers transferred to a new year. Okay, so this is all Shinjuku's composer's fault. Got it. Tsugumi and Matsuna had her suspicions about the executor, so he sealed her soul away to be safe. She was once a Reaper, though the executor removed her status after she allied herself with her older brother, Shinjuku's conductor. Oh! Huh. I want to find out more about him. And Shinjuku, to lose your Reaper status is to be erased. Knowing he was defeated, Shinjuku's conductor used a lot of his strength to save his sister's soul in a stuffed animal. That stuffed animal belonged to one Sheik Masaki. A Shibuya Reaper must have taken it to Shinjuku. As a result, Tsugumi Matsuna became the lone survivor of Shinjuku's purification. Once more Reaper, but sealed away and closely monitored by the executor. Jesus, I cannot speak English. She acted through no will of her own, as her soul was trapped by noise. However, she was still able to send messages to the proxy using her latent trailer ability. The noise binding her is now gone. If the damage to her plush vessel can be fixed, her soul will be free. The Shibuya River is known to be a unique place, even amongst the entities of the higher plane. Its source is in Shinjuku, meaning it should have disappeared in the purification, and yet it continues to flow unseen in its own plane. What an excellent idea to hide souls there to spare them from purification. Kaiichi Sasuke loved the game and cared for his compatriots more than any of the other Shinjuku Reapers. His actions leave no more room to doubt. Most of the Shinjuku Reapers maintain the close bonds they shared back in Shinjuku. I know not what kind of Reaper Shibuya, I keep wanting to say Shibuya because Shiba is way too similar. I know not what kind of Reaper Shiba Miyakaze was before being warped by the Executor, but judging by the Shinjuku Reaper's unflinching devotion to him, he must have been exceptionally charismatic. It is yet unknown if Shiba Miyakaze will be released from the Executor's influence at the end of the game. Even if he does manage to return to his former self, he will be forced to face the tragic reality that the loss of his friends is brought about by his own actions. Honestly, poor Shiba. Neku Sakuraba is wary of the proxy's powers. The pin continues to endlessly absorb the generated distortions. Absorb, but not destroy. They are likely being stored for some purpose. I wonder what the composer thinks of all this. There is no sign of movement from him. Does he have a plan at all? Tomorrow will tell. Knowing him, no he doesn't. Now, day 7... Version 1, Version 2, Version 3, and then after the game. The planar distortion caused by replay were all part of the Executive's plan to purify Shibuya. The conductor of the proxy and his comrades have taken a sudden turn for the worse. The ability to distort energy into noise is entirely unique. It is likely latent to the Executor, either allowing him to create noise or granting him some comparable power. In essence, the distortions were once souls. They manifest from the thoughts and loss of time of those whose timelines were cut off from canonical history. The proxy's pen stores the distortions born from each abandoned timeline, causing them to behave similarly to their source thoughts and birth new distortions. In other words, the pen allows the distortions to grow back and multiply with each journey back in time. The birds the proxy saw are new distortions spawn from those stored in the pen, given an order-compliant and readily storable form. Generally, souls need a catalyst in order to take form. The Executor's pin must be the catalyst in this case, generating noise in advance and transplanting the distortion's imaginations into them. The Executor is exceptionally adept at handling noise. There's a strong possibility that the noise present in bird form is temporary and will change at some point. If its shape is undefined and constantly changing, the proxy and his team will have a tough battle ahead of them. Shibuya is in grave danger. Yes, we know this, thank you, Mr. Hanakoma. Very cool. Shibuya has received a new visitor, one that not even the composer must have expected. It is the very same individual who drew up the report on Shinjuku's inversion. But why would he come to Shibuya? Probably not to take care of the Executor. Whatever business he may have, Tanzukubo can wait until after the purification. It seems that Shinjuku's composer, one Hasaku Mikage, has eliminated the Executor's noise and given the proxy another chance. I have an idea as to why. Shibuya's composer must be shaking his head right now. Hazuki, we need to have a chat. Why'd you want to erase Shinjuku, huh? You're quoted as being eager to do it. I have finally determined what was causing the proxy soul to stagnate. His fear of taking responsibility. When reliable allies such as Minamoto, Daisuke Nanjobito, and Neku Sakuraba appeared and took the reins, the relief of being freed from responsibility stilled the proxy's mind. Ironic that it was the famously unsympathetic composer Shinjuku that led me to this conclusion. Shibuya now owes its continued existence to the proxy's use of replay to undo its destruction. It is up to the proxy to decide whether or not to turn back time. He undeniably has that right. Shibuya has withstood destruction, but now stands to face an even greater danger. The challenge before us is one we cannot refuse. The proxy's team faced a giant bird-shaped noise. It was reborn from the unsavable blackbird noise, which were destroyed at the order level and reassembled. This is a clear act of interference by Shinjuku's composer. It allowed the proxy's team to focus all their efforts on one target. Okay, so Mikage or Has or whatever, he forced it to take form so they could destroy it. Each feather in the phoenix's tail is a karmic representation of a single temporal reversal. Perhaps this is a manifestation of the Shinjuku's composer's internal conflict. He's clearly taking an interest in the proxy and his teammates, yet his desire to see Shibuya purified is unchanged. I believe that his interference, dealing with the Executor, contacting the proxy, and meddling with the distortions, was more than a simple apology to Shibuya. It provided the perfect excuse for Shibuya's composer to make a direct move of his own. However, has Shibuya's composer failed to take the bait, remaining inactive to the very end. His reason for appearing to Neku Sakuraba and the others as they connected to Shibuya's imagination was not to help them, but merely to stabilize Neku Sakuraba's mind by reminding him he was there. A look over the vibes recorded by the RNS reveals no evidence of any outside interference. Rhyme interfered? Well, okay. The proxy's team defeated the Phoenix Campus through their own and Shibuya's strength. Why did you need to stabilize Neku? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about Joshua, not Mikage. Okay, so this is when Neku is having trouble connected the entire city. Okay, last secret report, here we go. Now that the game is over, I finally have permission to contact the composer. Several days have passed since then, and the composer has already completed 2 orders of business. One of them concerns Neku Sakuraba. Using a sample from a parallel world, one where Neku never went to Shinjuku and instead lived peacefully in the RG for 3 years, the composer modified the space and memories around Neku so they may once again reside in the RG without issue. This is not particularly unusual, as the same steps must be taken when returning a Reaper to the RG. So, copy-pasted it? I guess. The other order of business concerns Shoko Sakurane. Her Reaper status lost, her destruction at the end of the game was all but assured. However, the composer saved her soul at the precise moment it was used for deletion. She's been reborn in the RG in Shibuya. I believe this is a rare expression of gratitude on the composer's part. Gratitude towards the proxy, that is. The proxy has also returned safely to his life in the RG. Through him, I have learned much about the network as a simulated plane of existence, as well as its effect on human emotion. There is no denying its use as a tool to expand one's world. However, it is up to the user to explore and experience that expanded world for themselves, lest it remain a mere simulation. Enjoy the present and keep moving forward. Perhaps by refusing to interfere, the composer meant to convey to Shibuya the importance of accepting your circumstances and taking action yourself. I have one final note directed at the proxy, Rindo Kanade. The decision you make took courage, and I thank you for it. I sincerely hope we can meet in person someday. That will be one hell of an interaction, Hanakoma. Okay, well, for secret ending, we need to go do this again, which I will just speed run through as fast as I can. And see if I can get the ultimate drop for the final boss, because I still need to get that. Even though I beat him on ultimate earlier and didn't like the 50% drop. Okay, the first part since you want to go to is Nikita Park. I'll show you guys my pin setup later for what I've been doing.
Say, friend.
Also, I want to know who your voice actor is. I never got who that was.
Huh? Well, interesting.
Also, why does your voice sound like vaguely familiar?
Say, friend. Well, interesting. Say, friend. Interesting.
Just making sure the stream is still working and not being dumb. God, there's someone watching.
We're going again.
Also, me not remembering what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm just speeding up the dialogue. I'm assuming I need to go talk to Pete.
Let's have a look. We'll change our fate.
How entertaining this section probably is.
Let's move.
Oh yeah, the mention I'll Reaper Creeper.
We're going again.
Alright, I have to fight some noise, don't I? You don't wanna. So I'll just there. I'll use the pins that I used for the rhymes to die during another day.
We'll change our fate.
We need to get Uzuki to help rhyme.
Let's move. We're going again. We'll change our fate. Let's move.
That's voice acted.
Fighting never ends.
Oh, what song is this again?
We've got this in the bag.
Perfect out of my sight.
Not bad.
Leave it to me.
That's a legendary one.
You ready?
Oh,
yeah.
Hey, these both need to die.
Thanks, but of course.
Never stood a chance.
I expected nothing less.
Wow, there's like no delay. Actually, no, there's like a 5-second delay. Oh my god, there's a second person. So the second person who joined I already read all the secret portion, I'm speeding my way to secret ending.
We're going again. Let's move.
Well,
Yep. Wait, is this fully voiced? I don't know. Probably.
We'll change our fate.
Okay, planning out Operation Awakening.
We're going again. We'll change our fate.
Oh, okay, I actually need to talk to him. Hey, I actually just realized what's going on with Shiva's hair while doing this.
We're going again.
Cheeky! Hooray!
Commence Operation Awake.
Well, look at.
This is a fun scene, I like it. I'll let it play out.
Can somebody explain how I got roped into this frickin' mess? This is like literally the worst. I know I'm irresistibly adorable, but can't you all just buzz off? Minimoto!
07734.
Ew. Hey! Don't just spout off numbers and walk away, you jerk!
What do you, 07734 type into like an actual calculator, or like 0.7734, it says hello. See, it's a little bit upside down. Hey, look, there's the asshole himself.
Need a hand there?
Refused to help this entire time.
Josh.
Pris, kid?
Open thy minds unto me, and pardon the intrusion!
Nagi's
Fright!
fun. I like her.
Nagi managed to dive inside. You're up. Roger that, buddy.
And this is a really nice cutscene. I like it.
Time for a reminder. You ready, Shibuya? Come on!
Where did the subtitles go when it said time for a reminder? Oh, this is a loading screen.
Look skyward.
What's happening?
It looks like they're fighting or something.
Those souls lost to time are trying to take control, but Shibuya's fighting back.
They stopped.
All that still ain't enough?
No, but it was enough to give us a good head start.
I think I see something. A bird? Sure is gaudy.
All those noise came back and merged into one, like some
Thank you
nefarious
has
phoenix.
very cool.
Come on. Let's erase this noise for good!
There's absolutely no reason there need to be footsteps in that loading section, but okay. I'm on the right pin deck, right?
Any last words?
It's over.
Nice work, Fred.
We got this! All right!
Not bad.
Step into the... It's over! Yeah! Better brace yourself!
That didn't totally suck.
I know, right? Any last words? Perfect timing!
Well done.
Step into the
Nice one.
I'm impressed.
I'll remember the boss room now.
That was perfect!
Tried to stab me. I don't appreciate that, too.
It's over!
I'm counting on you.
Same here.
Yeah! Yeah!
Nice
I always know how
one.
good this boss battle thing is.
I roll.
Perfecto! Yeah! Fire!
Nice work, Fred.
Wow, am I good or what?
You sure are.
It's not over yet. It's over. Gotcha.
Not bad, yo.
Yeah! Better brace yourself!
Ready for more.
It's over! You okay?
It's not over yet.
Perfect timing.
Well done.
Any last words?
It's over.
Time to heal up.
Together.
Keep
Gotcha!
going. We're on a roll.
Got him.
Nice. Better brace yourself.
We got this.
Time to heal up.
Get ranges!
Any last words?
We got this.
Yep. Step into the light. Perfect timing.
Nice work.
It's over.
How was that?
Right on time.
I think I managed to dodge that scream once and never damage. By complete accident too.
If you keep going. Whoa.
Nice one!
Perfecto.
Wow, I roll. Indeed.
Nice work, Fred.
Fight on. Hang on!
I'm getting pumped.
Indeed.
You keep going.
Time to heal up.
Better already. It's over.
That was easy.
Let's keep it going.
Fight on. It's over.
We got this.
We got this. Leave it to me.
Indeed.
Don't sweat it.
Come on. Hang in there. I got this. Already.
Time to heal up.
Any last words?
That was easy.
I'm impressed.
That didn't totally suck.
I know, right? Step into the light.
We got this.
Ready for more.
Well, half the characters managed to dodge that.
I'm impressed. Leave it to me.
We're on a roll! Step into the light!
You ready?
Oh, yeah! Is it over?
Oh, clearly not.
Did we beat it?
Is the victory ours at last?
Hold up. Something ain't right.
You're right. Look.
What in the world is it doing? I am so ready for this to be over.
Well, it ain't over yet.
Oh, seriously?
Risen from the ashes. Is it immortal?
I don't think so. Let's finish this.
For real. Just keep hitting it till it stays down, yo. Move, y'all. Get out of the way.
We must weather this storm! Just gotta wait for an opening.
Well, we haven't got all day here.
Thanks for the creative.
Is it over? Not yet. Now's our time to strike back. It's over. We got this. We got this.
Now, am I good or what?
You sure are.
We got this.
Exquisite timing.
Well done.
I can keep going.
It's all my fault. For turning back time.
What are you talking about, Rin, dude? None of us would even be here if it weren't for you.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Time to heal up.
Any last words?
That was easy.
We got this.
We got this.
Ain't no stopping us now.
I'm impressed.
It's over. We got this.
Time to heal up.
It's not over yet.
Perfect timing.
I'm impressed.
Don't sweat it, yo.
Any last words? Booyaka! Right!
Leave it to me.
Yes, a legendary one.
Hawkins! Hawk!
Nice work.
It's over!
This is not yet over. We mustn't falter.
We got this.
It's over! Nailed it!
Each feather, a step closer to victory.
It's working!
We shan't rest until its fate is sealed. That was easy.
Well done.
Get wrecked.
Yikes!
It's over.
Got him! Great job! Better brace yourself!
It reaches.
Okay, none I've gotten that many. Oh, never mind. I think I should do a mashup because I'm about to get group back and I guess not.
Any left? It's over!
That wasn't half bad.
Did I ask?
Step into the light!
Nice one.
Nice work.
It's over!
Damn, could you have made this thing any tougher, yo?
My bad.
Hey, quit apologizing and start attacking!
Okay! It's over!
I'm counting on you.
Same here. We're almost there. Everybody ready?
I am. It's my responsibility to make things right.
Rindo.
This city isn't going anywhere!
Good. Let's go. Nice work, Fred.
Any last words?
Leave it to me.
That was perfect!
Much better.
It should be 8. And then I was gonna do a super. I can't see. No, I can play about with me the borders more. Borders in the arena a bit more clear because I can never know where I am.
Brace yourself!
No, what's ahead?
Time to heal up.
Ready for more.
It's over! Perfect timing!
Not bad. Die already!
Okay, that should be
Just
9.
a little more. We've got this! Don't let up now!
Gotta say, Rindo, you sure have changed.
Huh?
Yeah, you're finally making your own decisions.
Hell yeah, I am! It's over! Alright! Great job!
Well, that's a relief.
Brace yourself!
That's 10. It should be committed. Right over here. One right next to me.
Nice one.
That was perfect!
Gotcha.
I'm impressed.
We got this!
Don't let your guard down.
Roger that, yo.
Onward, soldiers.
Almost.
There! Alright! Perfecto! Step into the light!
We've got this.
Yep!
Just trying to keep up.
Such humility.
That's 12.
Perfect timing!
Well done.
I think this is it!
Yep, there we
It
go.
is. So don't screw it up.
Yeah!
Hey, sir, can you please,
It's
thank you.
over.
It's over! Nailed it! Perfecto!
Okay, super. Oh, never mind, we're just gonna do this again. Okay, so here's the corner.
It's over!
Wow, I rolled.
Nice work.
Alright! Perfecto!
Fuck you.
Any last words?
Yeah,
It's over.
I'm just denying you everything.
Exquisite timing!
You're welcome.
Ain't no stopping us now!
I'm impressed.
I'll let you have that one. Okay, inspiration move again? That's the last time it does it.
Just trying to keep up.
Such humility.
It's also gonna go.
It's over!
I'm waiting to see if I can.
Let's wreck them.
I got you. It'd be enough. That times 3 drop rate.
One last hit! Everybody ready?
Verily!
Let's make it count, yo.
You know I will.
This is it! We're gonna take back this city!
want to see what this secret ending's all about. Should be right after credits. If the first game was anything to say.
Well, everyone has their off days.
How to get an A10? And hey, the ultimate drop, Phoenix. It's probably that huge laser move, so I'm assuming it's a psychic shotgun.
We did it. It's gone.
Says who?
Shiba, you heard him?
Well, what if... Be happy. Huh?
I wanted to play with you.
If I return to the Reapers, I'll be stuck playing that dumb game forever. And I won't be able to see you. Not in person, at least. And that would really suck. It's been fun. And I'm glad we got to talk like this. You make a pretty good partner.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Huh?
Had to put it you because
Who are you?
typical World End to be fashion he appears.
The name's Yoshia Kiryu.
What an asshole.
But mother and father call me Joshua. I suppose you can call me Joshua too.
Can we help you?
No, but perhaps I can help you. You may not know this, but I'm Shibuya's composer.
Wait, the composer?
So you
No.
write music
No,
or something?
he's like the Game Master's master's master.
What say we celebrate this chance encounter with a little game?
What kind of game?
Shoka! What did you do to her?
At least this game wasn't you murdering
I
someone
put her
with a
back on
gun.
the street with the other stray cats. Find her, and you win.
She could be anywhere.
Good luck finding that anywhere, Rindo.
Oh, it's gonna be Coco. Thank you
All
for
I'm
saving.
saying is...
Why is your lollipop blue?
Wait, Shiba.
I honestly forgot that this scene was right now.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Rindo?
Huh?
It's you, right?
Shoka?
Ah!
Whoa, careful!
Still adjusting to life on the other side. Normally, I'd just pass right through people.
You're here, in the RG.
In the flesh. Which is, you know, another new adjustment. Guess I'm a bit of a slow learner.
The hell? You should have said something. I could have helped.
Yeah, you could have helped by not ignoring my friend requests.
Huh?
I got locked out of my accounts, including my alt, and I made a new one so we could be friends, but somebody didn't check his inbox.
No way. Oh, my bad.
Fango too.
Seriously? Oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I'm back at level 1. So lend me a hand, okay? What?
No, it's nothing. Got a nutkin I can give you.
Oh, sweet! Guess it's official now, Rindo.
What?
We're finally friends.
Oh boy, we got 3 people in here now. What are the
Friends.
odds? I can skip this, right? Without accidentally skipping the secret ending? I'm assume I can? Because I'm pretty sure the secret ending is like a normal conversation. I know. Yo, what's up? I have terrible memory, but like, sup, dude? Or whatever pronouns you use. Ah, here we go.
A bit late to come groveling back, wouldn't you say, friend?
My apologies, friend. I never intended Shibuya any harm. But rest assured that as Shinjuku's composer, I have personally eliminated the cause of the problem. Is that enough to earn your forgiveness?
I appreciate you exercising the executor from the UG. But you really ought to be more scrupulous when engaging with the lower planes.
I have no idea what that
Nobody
means.
likes a mess maker.
And all this time, I thought I was following in your footsteps.
Then you might need to watch where you're walking. Speaking of which, I saw you took a stroll around the city. Did you and Rindo have an illuminating conversation?
Weren't you watching?
Only a little.
I offered him an apology and asked him a few questions.
What about?
I thought he might understand why you opposed Shibuya's cleansing, so I asked what he thought about the city, hoping to glean some insight.
Another mess finally made. And, was it insightful?
Not to the extent I would have liked. I still don't understand. Humans are the most irrational beings. That said, I was a bit surprised myself with how our conversation ended. For some reason, the boy was ready to risk everything for an unproven possibility. And all I could do was remind him to take responsibility for whatever decision he made. Almost as if I were encouraging him to take that risk.
Sounds like you acted a bit irrationally yourself.
I did indeed. Even entrusted him with that powerful pin, if you can believe it.
Well, you aren't alone.
What's this game
I
about?
too have fallen victim to that irrationality before.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know how to
I
describe
can't say for
without
sure,
spoilers.
but one thing I've noticed is that every time I watch them
keep in
try
mind
to
this is
overcome the
sequel,
absurdity
and the
of their
original was
world,
about
I just
know,
can't help
killing God in
but
the end,
hope they
you know.
succeed.
It's hard to describe this game without spoilers. Oh, hey! That's a cute image. I'm screenshotting that. I guess the best way to describe the first game is the orange-haired boy there wakes up here in Shibuya, has no memories, and is some kind of wacky game. And they fight monsters. And maybe he learns how to not be an asshole to everyone. In this game, the blonde-haired boy to orange hair's left learns how to take responsibility for his actions. But, like, subtly. And it's very good. And that's a very, very, very bad description of this game, but I did it without spoilers. Hey, 91%. And I guess Q once more the very bad Neku image. It's so bad. I don't know why. Just compared to everything else. You got anything for me, game, if I press continue? Or are you just gonna put me on another day? Are you just here? Cool. But yeah, everything else I have left to do in this game is just completion stuff, so yeah, I guess I'll just end the stream here then. I guess that kind of concludes this entire playthrough. Well, no. I still have to find the secret boss. And why does it seem the scroll thing on the left make it seem like there's something past another day? Whatever. I'll try to find the secret boss. I'm like 90% sure it's Hazuki because he's the Hanakoma role of this game besides doing secret rewards. But yeah.